done psychological operations, and I was actually in Iraq for 16 months. Right now what I do, and the reason I'm dressed this, is I'm a military technician. I work for a 2-star general out of Los Alamitos. And what I do is probably something that you would have never even dreamed that there would be a job out there with this type of title. I'm an equal opportunity compliance specialist. We deal with people and their rights. We deal with dignity and respect. And what I do is ensure that people in the Army and the civilians I work with are not discriminated against based on their race, based on their color, based on their religion, their national origin, or their gender. And so what I do is I am that voice for those people that are discriminated, because we do have discrimination in the world. We have it in our society and we have it in the military. But we, as the military and as a defense organization, we have subject matter experts like myself that are in place to address those issues. Now, the me. Why would I be talking to you about this? I will tell you that an equal opportunity specialist in the government starts out at $130,000 a year. Right? That's just dealing. It's not a hard job. It's not a strenuous job. Yes, there's a lot of travel. Yes, you deal with a lot of people. But where I work now, I make about $90,000. I started there in 2011. I'm going to retire this year, but it's not a job that you would think about. How did I get there? Probably in the military, but there's also a website. How many in here are seniors? None? One? Juniors? Oh. Sophomores? One sophomore. Okay, and the rest of you are freshmen? So you have some time. You have some time to build your resumes. You have some time to take classes that are going to help you once you graduate. I know that right now you're probably just thinking about tomorrow, this weekend, what you're going to do with your friends. But down the road, when you look back, if you start planning now, if you start looking at those opportunities now, build those networks. You have this every year. For you freshmen, this is your first year of career day, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're going to have 3 more. Make opportunities. The young lady here, great opportunity for you that do have a desire in music. If those of you want to serve or want to go into the military, I'm sure I'm not the only one that's going to come from the Department of Defense or with a military background and talk to you. Use those resources. Develop that network now, because down the road you're going to remember, gosh, I remember that girl from the radio station, and what was that station? And she said that she would listen to my music. You have to remember those. Many of you won't remember me because by then I'll be retired, but there's going to be somebody else in my place. And if you have friends that are seniors, their time is now, right? Yep. Because they graduate, and then what are they going to do? Go to college? And right now, having a college degree is just not enough. You have to intern. You have to work in that field a little bit, and a lot of times it's who you know. So, again, the job markets out there in the military are probably nothing you've ever thought of. I actually was going to have a public affairs specialist with me today. She hasn't made it yet. But we have jobs in the military that are communication, music. We have a band that plays in a lot of the sports. So there's opportunities that you would not have even dreamed of. Take the time to understand what it is that you want to do. Make those plans now. And I'm sure what I'm saying is things you hear from your parents, your teachers, your counselors. But we don't say it to hear ourselves speak. I'm not here because I wanted to speak in front of you. I felt that this was an opportunity to really reach out to the youth and to say, hey, you know what? There's life beyond this. And it's what you make it. Just like Dr. Rogers says, you have an opportunity. You can. It's about what you want, what you believe in, and what you do with yourself. And we have a program in the Army that we are building soldiers to be resilient. We have a lot of soldiers that go on multiple deployments. And so the Army has said, how do we make soldiers resilient to be able to go to combat and come back and deal with daily life? And one of those programs is called the Master Resiliency Program. And the first thing we teach our soldiers when they come back, and I want to leave this with you, it's called Hunt the Good Stuff. It's a mindset that you look at the things in your life and you think about the positive. Don't wake up in the morning and say, you know what, it's not raining, because that's a negative. Get up in the morning and say, you know what, I can walk, I can talk. I have the opportunity to go to a school, sit in a chair and play music, talk to my friends, and that's a good stuff. So I would challenge you, as I leave the floor here, every morning to wake up and hunt the good stuff. Think of 3 good things, because after a week, there's only so many good things you can say about yourself. Eventually, it's going to spread out. You're going to realize there's good stuff in your family, in your schools, in your life that you probably didn't even think about as a good stuff. So, do I have any questions? Is there anybody interested in what I do? Or yes.
How long is the resilience course?
Actually, it's out of Penn State, and it's a 2-week course.
Oh, okay.
And you'll see as time goes on, that's going to actually be a new career field. Because of social media, the things that we deal in life, we need to know how to bounce back, kind of like a tennis ball. How do you get back to that point and deal with the drama, deal with the circumstances, and move on? So it's going to be a career field down the road. Is there a question? No? Yes.
Like for your field, like I know it's like you said, like a tennis ball. I know it's like when you bounce it, the tennis ball kind of stops bouncing, like during the internship. So like, how long is like the internship?
Well, it's every agency, if you think about it, credit unions, banks, everyone has an equal opportunity person. Because you know what, at the end of the day, companies can get sued if they don't provide the training that keeps you from being discriminated against. So you can intern in any location and start learning the laws of what racial discrimination is, what gender discrimination is, and so the internship depends on the company you go work with. I know for the civilian, you just have to have the degree, and then they are positions in every Department of Defense, the forestry, the Navy, the Army. There are many positions. I'm actually a civilian, so when I retire, I'll retire from the military, and I will retire from my civilian job. So I'll actually get 2 retirement checks. Yeah, I'll retire next year, probably being in close to $8,000 a month and not be working.
That's crazy.
So it's something to think about. Now, it's taken me 40 years because I joined in 1975, but right now in the Army, you only have to be 20 years active duty and retire. And if you start at 18, you retire at 38, right? Start collecting that paycheck and then become a government employee. And when you do your 20 there, you retire. So at 58, you're done. You got 2 checks. Something to think about, huh? Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys.